My church's response to my mother seeking guidance after she found out that she has a queer son. Bring him in and we will pray for him. Because of that, I've come to see that God is a celebrity that everybody feels that they know. Someone that anyone can speak for. And somewhere in my youthful heart, I began to believe the rumors that they spread about him, about myself, and so I adopted the title that the church presented to me, Broken. Silence is penance if who you are is unclean, and so I swallowed my truths until they sweat out into ink on scrap paper, keeping myself tucked in the third drawer from the top. It's where I hid my first beer, my first love, my porn, my pain. In the third drawer from the top, underneath birthday cards, you'll find stacks of chicken scratch. Using ballpoint rather than blade, I bled myself into reality drop by drop until those papers turned ocean deep. Years of swimming and somehow choking until one day I decided to speak. My truth spilled over the cliffs of my lips, and the waters I once thought were toxic were declared pristine. My inside seen as a sweet collection of drinkable rainstorm, providing fertile insight impregnated by possibilities. In small circles provided refuge for the changes that I didn't know were coming my way. I began choking up the seeds of original sin that were planted in my stomach, remembering them to only be myth, and finally enjoying those echoes of apple-flavored forevers. I stood tall in a space of fellow believers. I snakeskin shed my concepts of good and evil and stood in a garden of life once again, touching fresh flora with reawakened neurons, beauty blossoming in the folds of my brain's gray matter, and I too wrote all of this shit down because trauma is strange, especially when those who inflict it call the deed a holy duty, proclaiming themselves deity mouthpiece for a one true king, using self-appointed position to burn the safe places that hold the closet that you're hiding in. They speak of a holy war, but you'll notice their sharpened tongues betray their intent. Bleeding in ways that show their body count, cutting down spirits in the way that their ancestors clear-cut groves of oaks, but not us. No longer, not this forest, because I have an example for you. This is a true story. Last year, I was asked to speak at a pride festival in a small Midwest town. I brought with me a folder full of crumpled corners to a field full of people that were made of the same kind of thing. And I held in my hands years of healing, moments of caving, seasons of love. And behind me and to my right, I heard the swelling of hymns backing my word. There was a group of some foot soldiers doing the work that they deemed necessary. There was a group of protesters singing some songs, hoping that their Hosanna harmonies would drown out the celebration of those who sought salvation by their own God-given guidance. The church chanted behind me with poisoned propaganda, poised to push me back into hiding. But my view during all of that was a field full of rainbows. It was dancing with fresh teardrops on cheeks, and my mom was out there and she was smiling, and a swell of psalms hit the back of my head and blended with the words that I was speaking, words of surviving rumors of a God who does not accept us. And in that moment, I saw this field of survivors as it, as the truth, as the point of living and bleeding and loving and fucking. A new understanding of church arose. That sanctuary is small, sacred spaces, cheering for love in the face of those who tell us that we don't deserve it, who threaten that we will be living forever removed from that thing we're hoping for. But I've seen the thing that we're hoping for. And I will worship that version of love on that Saturday. I saw one of blending colors, old songs and bold kisses. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Thank you. Stellar.